Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Holly informed Sasha that she was the only mother she had while they were at the Quartermain stables. Although she didn't want Holly around, Holly admitted that Sasha needed her. Holly wasn't present when her kid and Brando passed away, Sasha pointed out bitterly. According to Holly, she found out about Brando and Liam after the fact. Holly clarified that she was attempting to honor Sasha's desire to avoid her. A furious Sasha snapped. "When did you ever give a damn about what I wanted? Simply acknowledge that you didn't want to be bothered and stayed away. Gladys had her imprisoned in an asylum," Sasha added. Then, she needed some maternal affection. When Sasha cried out, "This is too little too late," she described how Cody committed suicide in order to save her. Holly explained that although she wished they could stay together, it was not possible and that she was thankful that Sasha had Cody. Holly said she was sorry she wasn't a better mother. According to Sasha, she attempted to start a life for herself when her grandma passed away, but it kept failing. Holly never revealed her father's identity to her until after she had fallen in love with Cody, leaving her life in ruins. Admire Days, B&B, General Hospital, or other soap operas. Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right away, click here. Holly felt it was okay to inform Sasha that she had just completed the biggest job of my career after she questioned why she couldn't have been a typical mother with a typical job. Unimpressed, Sasha was informed by Holly that she was now in a position to set up my daughter for life. "I don't want any of your money," Sasha informed her mother. When an inebriated Cody revealed that Drew had been making out with your nephew's wife while banging her mom, Drew retaliated with a punch. While Elaine stood in a corner and recorded the entire event, Nina was appalled that her secret was suddenly public knowledge. Soon after, the police hurried in. Drew stated he didn't want to file charges, but Dex took Cody to the police station. Drew purchased a round of drinks for the house and repaired some of the damage. Cody informed Dex that Drew deserved what he received once they were in the questioning room. Soon after, Mac came to discuss Sasha with his son. Cody acknowledged that he'd always knew that meeting someone like Sasha was too wonderful to be true and that he was worried about making a mistake. With Sasha, Cody acknowledged, "I was a better guy." Mac expressed regret at Cody's departure when he informed him that he intended to leave town. According to Cody, it was too difficult to be with Sasha without being able to be with her. He didn't particularly want to leave Port Charles. Even distance wouldn't make things any easier, Mac informed his kid. "You are not a better man because of Sasha. You did the work, Cody, even though she might have been the cause. It would be very unfortunate if you gave up right now," Mac remarked. At last, Mac persuaded Cody to remain in Port Charles. Sasha, on the other hand, ended up getting a vodka on the rocks at the Brown Dog. Wiley was getting ready to show Michael his Halloween costume at the gatehouse, but Michael kept his hands over his eyes. The fact that Wiley was dressed as Sherlock Holmes impressed Michael. Wiley was taken aback by Michael's Watson costume. Michael escorted Wiley to the main house so Willow and Nina could have a quiet conversation after Nina arrived. When Willow was by herself, Nina cautioned her to tell Michael the truth about Drew right away. Willow thought that hardly anything had happened, that she had only developed a harmless infatuation on Drew. Nina noted that something had occurred, and Michael would eventually learn about it. "I hate to tell you, but your circle of trust isn't as tight as you think it is," Nina replied. When Nina informed Willow what had transpired with Cody and Drew at the Brown Dog, Willow was taken aback. Tracy hung up on another reporter who was inquiring about Drew's campaign in the Quartermain living room. Ned promised Tracy that everything will end soon. At that moment, Elaine's video showed up. Together, Ned and Tracy watched it with delight. Ned explained that he had a detective follow Drew because he had heard from an unusual but credible source that Drew was up to no good with Willow. Ned didn't want to draw unfavorable attention to the family. He just intended to use the video to get Drew to sign his shares of ELQ. Tracy recommended that Ned tell Michael everything in order to finally get rid of Drew. Ned also considered using the footage as leverage in the event that Drew prevailed. I could have a congressman under my thumb, Ned replied. When Drew eventually got home, Tracy was smirking and standing in front of him. Ned wanted to talk, but Drew stated that he wanted to go to bed after breaking up a brawl at the Brown Dog. Before playing the film for Drew, Ned declared, "You, from now on, are going to do exactly as we say." Drew was ordered by Ned and Tracy to appoint Ned as CEO tomorrow. You get elected, Willow continues to be Michael's dutiful wife, and Michael is none the wiser, Tracy added with a smile. Shocked, Drew attempted to expose Cody's dishonesty. Tracy stated that she would always believe Cody's word over his. How about James West? He overheard Willow discussing kissing you. How are you going to deal with that young child? Will you damage his reputation or will you simply strike him out, as you did with Cody? Ned inquired. Drew attempted to tell Michael the truth when he arrived, but Willow and Nina entered first. Despite Willow's best efforts, Drew was unable to stop chatting. I kissed your wife on the 4th of July last year. It wasn't what we intended. It simply did, Drew remarked. Willow rushed to Michael's aid, telling him it meant nothing, but heartbroken as Nina embraced Willow, Michael slipped away in silence. Lucky came to the hospital to see how Lulu was doing while Elizabeth, Laura, and Aiden awaited word. Laura promptly gave Lucky an update after he inquired about any fresh information regarding Sam and Lulu. Lucky would wait with Laura, so Aiden and Elizabeth made the decision to go home. Lucky told Laura that he had been navigating the bureaucratic process all day in order to get an emergency passport. Lucky didn't respond when Laura inquired if he intended to use it. There was so much about Lucky's life that Laura didn't even know, she thought. Lucky described how he got to know Isaiah and how they grew close while assisting Africans. Lucky acknowledged that Isaiah was brave when Laura named him so, yet he was constantly running. Laura held herself responsible for Lucky's nomadic behavior. She and Luke, after all, spent the first 11 years of Lucky's existence on the run. That instinct is in you because of the way your father and I raised you, Laura replied. Laura ignored his flaws as Lucky persisted in pointing them out, reminding Lucky that everyone was glad he was present. Lucky informed Laura, home is where you are, no matter where I go in the world. Isaiah showed up with an update on Lulu when Elizabeth came back wearing her street clothes instead of her scrubs. After the successful surgery, Isaiah felt hopeful about Lulu's future. Dante was sitting by Sam's bedside when she woke up from her surgery. She started by inquiring about Lulu's health. When Laura saw Heather and Stephen Weber near the hospital elevators, she was taken aback. With much excitement, Heather declared herself free. Laura was perplexed since, according to what she had heard, Heather refused to be let go. Heather informed Laura that she had changed her mind and that she was freed thanks to an excellent attorney. Although Alexis pointed out that Rick was to blame, Heather also expressed gratitude to Alexis for sharing her cell. I got my freedom back, which is fantastic news. As well as my family. Laura, I simply cannot comprehend my wonderful fortune, Heather remarked. To find out if Stephen was certain he wanted to bring Heather to Sedona, Elizabeth pulled him aside. Who will take on Heather if I don't? And perhaps we can work out some issues between Mom and me, Stephen thought. Heather needed to be far away from the people she had harmed, Stephen thought. Soon after, Dante showed there and was startled to see Stephen. He believed that Stephen would never be able to get Heather aboard the aircraft. Stephen felt confident that he could assist Heather in leading a successful life outside of Port Charles. Admire Days, B&B, General Hospital, or other soap operas. Participate in the discussion on our SC boards. To interact with fans and start a conversation right away, click here. Heather promised Laura and Alexis by the elevators that she wouldn't bother them because she and her son were going to Arizona. I hope you're not too upset by this, Laura, but I am leaving Port Charles for good, Heather responded. Laura and Alexis appeared very unconcerned. Laura expressed her belief that the best thing Heather could do for her victims would be to relocate to Sedona. Alexis also added her voice and encouragement. Laura called Kevin shortly after to inform him that Heather was free and that she wanted to see Ace one final time. Laura had to stay at the hospital to wait for word on Lulu, so Kevin would need to oversee the visit. When Heather learned that Kevin had consented to her visit, she felt relieved. When Heather and Stephen got to Laura's apartment, she was overjoyed to see her grandson. Kevin admitted it wasn't totally selfless, but Stephen complimented him for letting Heather spend time with Ace. "Laura and I don't want Heather to think that she has any unfinished business here," Kevin responded. Heather whispered in Ace's ear that she would return as she gave him a final hug. Alexis told Laura back at the hospital that she was glad Heather was going out of town, but Laura was concerned that she had let Heather see Ace. Sunny also came to check on Dante and inquire about the progress of Sam's surgery. Dante anticipated hearing soon. Although he was excited to start living with Sam again, Dante expressed concern that he had given Rocco unrealistic expectations for his mother. Elizabeth showed there a little while later to inform the families who had been waiting that Sam's surgery had gone well. Anna needed to chat, so she stormed into Brennan's office. In order to let Charlotte know that Lulu was getting a liver transplant, she was determined to track down Valentine. Anna didn't believe Brennan when he said that the WSB was unaware of Valentine and Charlotte's whereabouts. Anna admitted that she was certain the WSB knew where Valentine was and that she was aware he was working with Pikeman. Brennan noted that if she hadn't told Jason that Valentine was running Pikeman, Valentine would still be in town. Brennan was also skeptical that this had anything to do with the young girl that you shot in the dark. A tearful "I'll never be free of that guilt," Anna sobbed. "I let her father escape because I didn't want her to be without him. I made a mistake," Anna acknowledged. Brennan continued to say that he had no idea where Valentine was before inquiring as to whether Lulu's relatives were aware that Anna was to blame for Charlotte's disappearance. They didn't, according to Anna, but because she was in charge, she wanted to make things right. Without Brennan, Anna promised to locate Charlotte and Valentine. Holly and Sunny reconnected at his workplace. Jason's presence shocked Holly, but she wanted to seal the agreement that had been discussed earlier. Jason wanted to be sure that Sidwell was the rightful owner of the jewels. As Sunny informed Holly that they might not have a deal at all, Holly attempted to sidestep the topic. Holly received her diamond back from Sunny, who also told her that Sidwell was on his way to Port Charles. Sunny listened to Holly's desire to strike a bargain. Jason pointed out that the WSB saved them all, while Holly insisted she had the matter under control in Africa. Sunny didn't want to listen to the arguments. All he wanted was to get rid of the jewels before Sidwell arrived in town. Sunny declared that a 30% cut was insufficient, knowing that the WSB was involved. The diamonds would remain in his hands until he sold them, and he required 35%. Before leaving, Holly took one diamond with her. Jason was given the diamond bag by Sunny to keep safe. To give Jason an update on Valentine, Anna met him at Pozzolo's. She claimed that instead of letting her feelings for Valentine influence her decisions, she ought to have paid attention to Jason. Jason pledged to assist Anna, who was adamant about finding Charlotte. Spinelli was startled to see the police commissioner when Jason called for him. Anna clarified that she required the Jackal's assistance in locating Charlotte and Valentine. Spinelli was reassured by Anna that this was not WSB nor official police business. Nina gave Drew some news during their meeting at her office. "We have a major problem, one that might cost you the election," he stated. Working-class voters believed a billionaire was disconnected from their needs, according to data Nina had. Nina thought she might have a solution. To show voters a different side of Drew, Nina demanded that he remove his dress and wear something more relaxed. "We're going to go out there, have a couple of beers, and meet the everyman," Nina said. Drew, a Navy SEAL veteran who grew up in a group home, couldn't figure out how this could be. His opponent had launched a smear campaign against him, but Drew was not aware of it. Sasha admitted to Cody in the Quartermain stables that she had misled him about her mother's death. Cody insisted that they could deal with whatever issue existed between them, even if Sasha acknowledged that there was one. Sadly, Sasha informed him that they were not able to be together. A bewildered Sasha revealed to Cody that Robert was her father since he was curious about the true situation. Sasha gave Cody the results of the DNA test, which demonstrated their first cousinship, because he didn't trust her. Sasha disagreed with Cody's assertion that Holly had to have manipulated the test. It was conducted in a WSB lab, after all. Sasha revealed Cody the entire vile story of Holly abandoning her and her grandma so that Holly could defraud wealthy men. Additionally, she had informed Sasha of her father's passing. Holly didn't tell anyone who Sasha's father was when she found out he was still alive. Sasha claimed that although she thought her life was at last on course, Holly's revelation completely upended everything. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.